Hey everyone, good morning. That was a very good night sleep I got last night. It rained quite a bit last night. Storm, the last leg of that storm blew through. Well, I don't know if it's the last leg, but another leg of that storm blew through and it rained last night. It's supposed to storm again today, later today, so we'll see what happens. But as of right now, conditions are just looking absolutely beautiful. Got a little bit of color in the sky starting here. And looks like it's gonna be beautiful, beautiful day out here. So let's go find an owl to photograph, fingers crossed. I heard an owl a lot last night in the opposite direction of where I've been photographing that other one. And that other one was quite a distance away from here. So I'm thinking there's another owl over in this direction. So I'm gonna head that way this morning, do a little bit of scouting, see if we can find another owl to photograph. That'd be absolutely awesome. It's my last full day here, so let's make the most of it and let's get going. Well, it started raining again, but this is the exact same weather I had yesterday when I was with that owl all day. So I don't think they really seem to mind the rain as much as we humans do. So I'm hoping to find one today. So when I look for owls, I look for more than just the owl. Even though these are birds that fly around, there's still signs of their passing. And I've got one right here. So I don't know if you can see this, I'll show you up close, but I've got a rather large owl pellet right here. Now owls, when they eat, they generally swallow their prey whole, and their digestive system takes care of pretty much everything, but what they're unable to digest, generally the bones and the fur, they then spit up in what is called a pellet. So I've got an owl pellet right here, and I can see a lot of little bones and different things in here. So a lot of times you can see what an owl's been eating based on the pellet. So something I like to do sometimes is kind of take them apart and just see what the owls have been eating. But there's also some remains of some whitewash here. The rain has kind of soaked most of it into the ground, but the whitewash is essentially their poop, and there are occasionally like feathers around. I've seen some feathers in some of the trees and whatnot. They're pretty saturated at this point though, but you know, there's a lot of signs around here that there are owls in the area. So whenever I find pellets, I like to look up and see maybe there's an owl roosting there. If it's a spot that they like to use a lot. I just see the one pellet, so I think he just hopped on a branch here and chilled here for a little bit. But sometimes when you find a tree that they really like, you'll see pellets just everywhere. But I'm gonna keep going. This forest is looking like prime owl habitat, and obviously they've been here, so let's keep going and see what we can find. I just had, oh my goodness, I just had one of the coolest wildlife encounters that I've had all year. This has got to be like top 3. I am so excited and just happy. You guys know I get giddy with wildlife. That's exactly how I'm feeling right now. So I was making my way through the forest and I just had this like prompting. I just had this feeling that I needed to check my camera settings and make sure everything was ready to go in case I saw something. So I made sure my camera was on, and made sure all my settings were good. I mean, it's really dark in here, so I was at like 1/160th of a second or something, and the ISO was pretty high. And I keep going, and you know, I'm going for a couple minutes, and then I just had this feeling really distinctly that I was being watched. Now, this is a feeling that I don't know how to explain, but you know, after, I don't know if that squirrel's barking at me or something over here, but you know, after so many years of being around wildlife and just spending time in nature, you know what it feels like when something's watching you. It is something that you can feel, and that's the feeling I got just very strongly. So I stopped and just started looking around, and in one of the trees there was a marten. Now, I've done previous videos before where I've mentioned martens. Martens are one of those species that I have looked so hard and long for, and I've only ever seen maybe like 4 of them, and all of those have been within, I think, the last 2 years, 2.5 years maybe, and I've only gotten like 2 decent-ish pictures, maybe 1 or 2 decent pictures of a marten, and you can't even see its full body. It's like peeking through some branches and stuff, and that's it. After all the years that I've, you know, looked for them in the woods, hiked through the woods, all that stuff, I only have like 1 or 2 decent pictures of a marten. And this marten, this was incredible. I'm still just giddy about it, but this marten, I was so curious. I was probably maybe the only human it's ever seen. I don't know. I was so curious, and it was in this pine tree, and it was just checking me out, and it'd move to another branch, and it would check me out, and then it'd move to another branch and check me out, and then it went down on the trunk and was like on this vertical trunk, peeking around, checking me out. And it did this for a little bit, and I was able to get some pictures that I am just so thrilled about. You know, I still haven't seen any owls today, but that marten just made everything perfect. I mean, this trip has been amazing, and that marten was just the cherry on top. It has been absolutely amazing. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. Hopefully we'll find an owl this evening. Maybe that marten again, which would be fantastic. But yeah, let's keep going and see what else we can find. Just a wonderful, wonderful day so far. I'm gonna turn this off, or I'm gonna slip in this mud going up this hill here and catch it on camera. That would be silly. So let's turn this off and see what we can find. And we're back. Another late evening. This is probably the latest I've gotten back so far this trip. It's just a long day of hiking, looking for owls. No luck on the owls today, unfortunately. The weather was just really bad today. So after that marten, after I checked in with you guys earlier, the weather took a turn for the worse again, and it just started pouring and pouring. and it even started sleeting for, is that the right weather condition? It was like frozen rain was just coming down. Ice basically was coming down, and it was pretty miserable out there for the wildlife, I think, because there was just nothing out. So it was pretty uneventful other than that marten today. What am I talking about? Sorry, I just forgot about some stuff. So actually I did see some wild turkeys. I saw a pair of wild turkeys. That was fun. I haven't photographed wild turkeys for a long time, and seeing those turkeys made me want to do so again. It's been a little while since I photographed them, and they are just so much fun to photograph. I got a little video clip of them, but then they scurried off into the brush. And I did see an elk as well this evening. I was scouting a little open field. It stopped raining and I was out there scouting for owls, and out came a bull elk, and that was pretty cool. Got a quick picture of him, and he made his way off into the distance as well. So yeah, it was not an uneventful day. It was quite eventful. But if you couldn't hear, the rain is starting again, so I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna get some dinner, because once again I haven't eaten at all today, and I think I'll call it a night because it's getting pretty cold pretty quick, and it's actually supposed to clear up tonight, which means it'll probably get really cold. So I'd rather get warm and stay warm early on in the night. So I'll see you guys in the morning, and hopefully before I have to head out tomorrow morning, we can find another owl to photograph or some other sort of fun wildlife. On that note, I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everyone. I know what you're probably thinking. Wait a minute, this isn't where Jimmy went to sleep last night. Well, in this video series, you're right, it's not where I went to sleep, but I did in fact sleep here last night. So last time I checked in with you, I was going to bed, finishing my last full day out here with the owls. I had been able to photograph that American Marten, the Pine Marten, and what an amazing encounter that was. My head is still just spinning from that encounter. That was so much fun. Oh, just incredible. I had gone to bed for the night, and later that night I got a call from home and we had a family emergency. And so as soon as I was off the phone, I shoved everything into my backpack as quick as I could, hoofed it out to my vehicle, loaded up, and drove through the night to get home. Luckily, everything is okay. Thank you to my rock star wife and some other family members that helped us out that night. Everything is great. It is now a couple weeks later. I'm back out here with the owls, and I just finished my private great gray owl workshops out here, and let me just tell you, absolutely incredible. We had some amazing encounters with 4, possibly 5 different great grays out here. 2 of them, I can't tell if it was the same owl or different owls. It's really hard to tell sometimes. But 4, possibly 5 owls out here. We got some really fun video footage of the owls and some amazing pictures. I cannot wait to show you guys here at the end of the video. I'll put all that content at the end of the video here. Well, not all of it because we got so much, but I'll put some of that content here at the end of the video and show you guys what we were able to get out here. Absolutely incredible. So I did want to clarify a few things. In my videos, when I take you along with me backpacking, looking for wildlife to photograph, everything I need, I carry with me in my backpack. That is not how my workshops are at all. If you're with me on a camp-based workshop, whether it's photographing bears in Alaska or photographing sage grouse in the spring, whatever it is, I do have a base camp set up. And so each participant gets their own 2-person tent. It's enough room for yourself and all your gear that you bring with you. There's luxury bedding set up in there. It's really comfortable to sleep on. I've got a communal tent set up where we can sit and visit during the slow times, where you can take shelter from the weather if you need to. There's a camp kitchen set up in there where we can do our cooking and our eating. I've got electricity set up in there so you can recharge camera batteries. You can transfer pictures from your memory cards to a hard drive. I've got internet set up so you can check emails if you need to. You can contact your family on a daily basis or just brag to your friends about the amazing time you're having out here. I've got a camp bathroom set up with a toilet, hot showers available even on chilly days like it was this morning. There's hot showers ready to use and ready to go, warm meals each day. So I do have quite the robust setup here that I've invested a lot of research, time researching gear, and a lot of money in this gear. It's quite the awesome setup, if I do say so myself. So if you've ever wondered about how my workshops are, don't worry, we're not out there backpacking for miles and miles just hoping to see something. I come out in advance, find the wildlife, really try to make sure that we have the best opportunity to photograph them, and then I have everything set up for you when you get here so you don't have to worry about carrying anything in or setting things up, anything like that. So for those of you who have joined me in the past on a workshop, I miss you. Can't wait to get out with you in the field again. For those of you who haven't joined me before, I hope you consider joining me in the future, whether it's out in Alaska photographing the beautiful bears out there, or out on a private workshop photographing a species that you just haven't been able to photograph. So if there is a species that you do want to photograph and you just haven't been able to, let me know. We'll talk logistics and scheduling, and we'll see about the possibility of getting out in the field together to photograph those beautiful, beautiful animals. I hope you've enjoyed this Great Gray Owl series this year. I have had so much fun with these owls, and I cannot wait to edit those pictures that I took, to go through the thousands of pictures that I took with these owls this year. I had such an incredible time. Thank you so much for following along. As always, if you have any questions or need clarification on how my workshops work or anything else, just let me know. Send me an email, and I'd be more than happy to go over specifics with you, answer any questions you may have. Thanks again for following along. I hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you next time.